All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, excuse me, Thursday, September 4th. So for market open today for the intra, give me a second here. Uh, okay, just a second. So for the market open, yesterday, we did have a live session this week, but yesterday's intraday market open entries hit TP. The previous day came close to TP and reversed and got stopped out. And I think Friday, Friday was a winning day. So today, let's see for this one. This is okay. So we have a 30-minute bet. So both of them will be for sells today as well. So the forecast one will be for a sell. The trend here is bearish. So the trend one will be bearish as well. And this is exactly on market open. So we'll see if this bearish trend will hold. Also, of course, we're looking for this market open rejection scalps. So yesterday was a pretty good day for the market open rejection scalps. For US30, there was only two market open rejection scalps and both of them hit TP. So for these ones, I've already automated them because I'm taking them on multiple accounts. So, but we'll see. But this one right here is, we are looking for selling momentum here. And we'll see. So we have about a minute remaining. What else? What else? So for the SAR and EMA rejection scalps, we do have this SAR, 30-minute SAR right here. So I will go ahead and set an alert here, 185, so 175.8. That will be the 10-point threshold. For the EMAs, let's see which EMAs haven't been tested. So we've tested every EMA that's next to price. So the only EMA that hasn't been tested is this daily EMA and 30-minute EMA 2 that's right there. So currently for today, we also have, no, not that hourly. Okay. All right, so market is about to open. And I want us to pay attention to this rejection scalps and see how this will go. All right, so we have about 15 seconds. Let's see. All right. So for today, US30 did not have a market open. So it's already 9:30. So we didn't have a market open. Let's see what we have. So it looks like it might be for a sell. Okay. So here we go. So a 1:2. NAS already has a sell as well. So let's see. For market open, you can see NAS is running the sell for market open, the rejection scalp that is. And this one I think hit TP already. So US30 is the one that's currently running as well for a sell. And we are at already 1:1. So NAS is running. And let's see if we can hit TP for US30. We should be able to. So there we go. And I'm in this in 3 accounts. So if this hits full TP, that would be a 12K. day, but I'm only in the US 30 one. Okay, full TP on US 30. So I go ahead and close my accounts. So I've closed the 9:30 a.m. only account. This other account has hit full TP. So it's one trade a day. So this is the strategy for one trade a day. So on two accounts, I'm done. Yep, I'm done for the day. I go ahead and close those accounts for US 30. So 1:2. And also the market open here again is still running right there. We are running the regular market open for 100 points stop loss, 200 points TP. Market open rejection scalp already hit TP for US 30. The NAS one, again, I'm not taking NAS for now. And I also have an account that takes. So here, and let me put those models again on the screen here. And yesterday was a good day for US 30 as well for the market open rejection scalp. They do happen so fast, so you have to be, so you just need to pay attention to my screen. So, and again, I've automated all these signals, so I'm not even entering manual at this time or manually. So they just get to be entered automatically for myself. Okay, so this is it, right? One trade a day. So, and this is the one that I'd read to you guys the statistics the last few weeks. So one trade a day, 9:30 a.m. only. So I have an account that's copying to other accounts that's only taking the 9:30 a.m. signal. So today we did have a 9:30 a.m. signal on US 30. So the signal has to come at 9:30 a.m. for that specific account. So that's account or that's entry model one. And give me a second here. I think we do have this SAR rejection scalp that's right here. So let's see if we're going to fill this trade right here. Because I know these are normally some of our official trades. We didn't have any EMA entries. Did we? Actually, we sort of did, but it would have been a tricky entry. Let's see if we're going to get this. So this would be the 10-point entry. But we don't want a crossover buy to come in any moment. So if we get a green X, this trade will be invalidated. So if we get a green X before price comes here, this trade will be an invalid trade, which I think we might get it. Oh, maybe not. We might get filled in. All right. So this is the 10-point entry. And then after the 10-point entry, so the one we normally use for official trades is now if we get a green X, right? So if we get a green X, that's the 1:1 risk to reward entry for 20 points TP, 20 points stop loss. And looks like, okay, so there it is. And looks like markets are back, moving nicely because August was a bit. So this is like that official trade of ours. And there we go. Almost there. So let's see. We just need to push up a little bit more. But keep in mind the momentum today is bearish, but I think we should get to TP on this trade. Let's see, 41, or maybe I spoke too soon. Let's see. There we go. Nice. I like that push. 45, 196 and full TP on that. So that's a nice 0.75 gain for the day, 45, 195. So let me just take this from my journal, 45, 195. There we go. So the 10-point entry hit TP and the regular one we normally use just hit TP as well. So this was an SAR rejection scalp based off of the 30-minute SAR right there. Nope, not looking at that. Let's see. Okay. And looks like we had formed on market open. price pushed up to this 15-minute and 30-minute EMAs. I'm sorry, SARs. So I know the focus, I like focusing on this market open rejection scalps lately, um, but, but, but today we also did have that 15-minute and 30-minute SAR 275. So this one, I actually, let's see, 268, 278. Let's see how that would have gone. 268, yeah, so there was an entry here. But anyway, we caught this one. We got this sell, which is pretty similar to what we're looking for, but there was an SAR sell up there, and that one as well would have gone to TP. Um, anyway, so let me go over this one's again. So the first one you're looking at, you can take the 9:30 a.m. only. So today for US30, we did have a 9:30 a.m. signal. So I did take that on the 9:30 a.m. only account. So again, this one is just one trade a day. So I've closed that account. The second set, you take the first trade after market open, whether it's 9:30 a.m. or not. So typically you'll either have a trade on the first two accounts or the on accounts one and two or on accounts two and three, because right now I'm waiting on an entry for the third account. So the first trade after market open, not including the 9:30 a.m. entry. So this is just to avoid that 9:30 a.m. volatility. So currently there's an account that I'm still waiting to enter a trade on, and it's going to be based on the next signal, which hasn't shown up just as of yet. So whatever the next signal will be on US30, that account three will enter it. The fourth model or the fourth entry is to take every single trade between 9:29 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. So you take every single entry. Yesterday for US30, we only had two entries between 9:29 a.m. and 10:59 a.m. Eastern time, and both of them were winners. So if you would have taken those, you'd have ended up winning. Now, for account four, if you're trying to take every trade between, and let me put 9:29, if you're trying to take every trade between 9:29 a.m. to 10:59 a.m., I recommend risking 0.25 per trade. But if you're only taking the one trade a day, like for example, this 1%, I'm sorry, this one for today at 9:30, you risk 1% per trade because we're going for a 1:2 risk to reward. Yeah. And let's see. So the regular market open, the intraday market open is back and forth at break even. But for US30, we are in a very critical place because every time US30, because you can see where US30 keeps bouncing from. So this is the yesterday's market open that ended up hitting TP. But you can see here we have this weekly bearish high. So the next time we do come back down here, I think we'll have a big dump for US30. But if we choose to hold above this weekly bearish high, US30 might start going back towards the all-time high. So if we hold where we are right now, US30 might actually end up pushing back up. And tomorrow we know it's Friday. So given that it's Thursday and Friday, or Thursday and then tomorrow's Friday, it is likely that US30 might trend to one direction. And in this instance, it might trend back up towards the all-time high. So we'll see. All right, so let's see what else we have. So NAS today, unfortunately, NAS today would have been a loser for the market open rejection scalp. US30 would have been a winner. So let's see what the next trade will line up for. So currently we are done with the 9:30 a.m. only entry. We are done with the first trade after market open, whether it's 9:30 a.m. or not today. So today the first trade was at 9:30. So on the first two accounts, I'm done. And now we are waiting on account three and also another trade for account four. And also, I don't want to miss an SAR. So here we go. We are about to touch. So we just touched a 30-minute EMA. So this EMA is at 299. So it would be, so the 10-point entry would be at 299, would be at 0.99. So this is a bit risky. So I would rather take the daily EMA as opposed to the 30-minute EMA. So nowadays, if two SARs or EMAs are within 50 points of each other for US30, I would rather take the higher one, right? So we always want to go to the optimal one. But if you do want to take the, we actually even haven't gotten to the '09 part. So the 10-point threshold for the 30-minute would be somewhere here. But for me, I would rather take, if anything, I would rather take the daily because it's at a better entry or at a higher entry. And if we form that red X, so the 30-minute EMA entry is invalidated because we didn't get to the 10 points past the level before forming that change of structure. So for me, I like this daily EMA because again, it's a higher time frame EMA. So 320, so this would be 330. So the 10-point threshold might be somewhere above there. Do we have any other EMAs? Not that I can see. And also another thing here, this is a possible, let me see if I've marked that up on my, for you guys. Um, yeah, we do have a bearish structure right here. So if price gets to this top wick right here, the top of this wick, this is a possible reversal area. But let's see what we'll get. All right. We also have this 4 hour. So yeah, you can see here we also have this 4 hour SAR that's above there. So this definitely is a high probability. We do have a bearish structure. We do have this daily EMA. So this is a possible brief reversal area for US30. So let's see if we can get to that area. And NAS as well is coming back down here. So let's see. This entry, we'll see if this one survives today. All right, so we are watching this area. 24.6, 34.6. All right, so let's see if we can get there. Uh, give me a second. Okay. All right. So I think so we've gotten the next signal here is a sell. Let's see how this will go here. So the next signal post market open is a sell. And we'll see. But we are next to this bearish structure, so hopefully this hits TP before. And you can see how this market open rejection scalps. They have a lot of momentum. So there we go. Perfect. So I just wanted to hit TP before before reversing back up. So keep in mind, we're pretty bullish for US30, but we just need this to hit TP before any reversal back up. So let's see if we can get that here. Perfect, almost there. Um, all right. And looks like so we did touch this daily EMA. So this EMA entry is invalid because we've started pushing back down, and also we created a change of structure. So the EMA entry is invalid. So the only one here that's valid is this 4 hour, yeah, this 4 hour buy here. But I want this trade to hit TP first before any meaningful reversal. So let's see if we can get that. Come on. Yeah, this is, let's see. All right, come on, there we go. We just need to push down a little further. All right, almost there. Oh, there you go, full TP. So I'm out of that trade as well. So for today, US30, and then I go ahead and close this other account. So I'm not interested in. So today, three accounts have hit full TP. So each for 4,000 bucks, because I'm risking the one trade a day, I'm risking 1%. So I go ahead and shut them off because I've automated these signals. So a win. So this first trade was taken on two accounts, so each 4,000 each. So that's 8,000. And then this one, so this is that account that you're not looking to take at 9:30 a.m. signal. You're just looking to take a signal that comes after 9:30 a.m. So the next signal after 9:30 a.m. was this one, this sell signal here, which is what I just took. And then I go ahead and close that account. I did my 1:2 risk to reward. And then, so the account I leave open is this fourth account that's taking every single trade between 9:29 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. So both trades today have been winners, and I'm risking 0.25% per trade on that one. Maybe in future, I might risk 0.5% per trade, but right now it's 0.25% per trade. So I'm up 1% on that account. And then, of course, we know that we do have a bearish structure here on US30. So we can take this 4 hour SAR rejection if it comes back up there. But so far so good on the trades for the day. Let's see. And I know that, yep, so that copied across all the accounts. Perfect. Um, so for NAS, we haven't had any other signal. So today we've only had two signals for US30. Both of them have been for sales, and both of them have hit TP. For NAS, we've only had one signal, the market open one, but it ended up hitting stop loss. But again, for me, I'm only focusing on US30. Maybe at some point I may have an account to take NAS signals as well. Oh, actually, the daily EMA is still valid. I always forget EMAs are always moving, so it will, as price goes down, it will come and touch this this wick. But yeah, so the daily EMA entry is still valid because you can see here the label says that this EMA has not been tested yet. And I think this tomorrow is FOMC or something, and tomorrow I won't be able to. Is it? No. NFP. I won't be able to do a live session tomorrow. So tomorrow we won't have any live session. But I think tomorrow is NFP, yeah, because it's the first Friday of each month. All right, so this one is still running. It's in drawdown. A similar thing happened yesterday when during market open price pushed up, almost hitting stop loss for the intraday market open trade, but we had a reversal. But today I think we'll touch this where we have this bearish structure here. If anything, that's the only area I'm looking to see reversals. But and also you can see this candle, this 9:30 a.m. candle. It's a very, very bullish candle because we tried to sell off, but then buyers pushed price all the way back up. But we do have some bearish order blocks there. We do have a bearish structure there. So we'll see if we get anything for where price is at. And that entry you took earlier, that was a nice. So yeah, so the SAR and EMA rejection scalps, I think the market is moving nicely again because I know in September, no, in October, no, what is it? In August, we had ups and downs, quite a few ups and downs in the market. So hopefully the market is back moving the way we were used to, like in the spring. And let's see. No, we didn't touch that. Okay. So we're approaching this area up here. Let's see. We haven't had any other, so let's see. Even for NAS, we haven't had any other signal. For US30 as well, no signal as well here. All right, we're about to get back to, where is that? We're about to get back here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So we've tested the 4-hour SAR, and so 324, 334. So 334 is the 10-point entry, which is, I think I'm using this screen. But if we get, of course, if we get a crossover sell, so if we get a red X, this trade will be invalidated, and there's the red X. So we need to come up here first before we get a red X. And looks like we're trying to do that. And there goes the red X. So this trade is invalidated. So no worries here. And we are already in that bearish, actually the bearish structure. We're actually in the bearish structure because I actually use MT4 to look at my bearish structure. So actually, if you guys if you use MT4, you'll probably see what I mean. On the hourly time frame, on MT4, you're looking at the high of this candle, which intersected with the high of this candle here. So you're looking at the intersections between this candle and this candle here. So on MT4, this candle is a bit higher because, of course, different brokers. But typically, when I look at structure, I'm looking at the intersection. I'm looking at a wick. So I'm looking to the left. So whether it's for a buy or sell. And then I look at the top or bottom two wicks that are intersecting. And the area of intersection is where I look at the bearish structure or the bullish structure. So here, the bearish structure, let's see. So the bearish structure is already gone or has already been taken, and we might blow through it, but let's see. 325, 317. So yeah, and you can see that rejection from this area. So the bearish structure was 8 points below here. So was at 321 on TradingView. So wherever 321 was here. So that's where the bearish structure was. But anyway, so currently this one is still running. I'm not sure if it's going to survive. I think we just formed a market open. Okay, so for NAS, we formed a buy on market open. I'm sorry, not on market open. I just call them market open signals. So market open rejection scalp. So this is the second, and again, I'm not taking any NAS entries. I'm only taking US30 ones, but we can just follow this NAS one. But NAS formed the second market open signal for NAS, and we can just track it and see how it would be or how it would end up. So let's see here. So for the daily EMA, it had already gotten tested, so there's nothing here to enter for it. I don't, yeah, because we had already tested at 3. Actually, we can take, let's see, the daily EMA is at 332.7. Let's see. If we get, it should be here 342.7. So let me see. Um, I'll take it. And then we can wait for the the other one. Oh, and I forgot to record the 0.75 gain today. Um, we're still pretty bullish, but let's see if we can come down here. So if you see a red X, I'm entering the 1:1 risk to reward, the 20-point stop loss, 20 points TP, which is what we use to track our gains. And I think it's going to be this candle. Yep, there it is. So I mean that. So let's see if we can push down from here. There we go. Nice push. Nice push. Nice push there. Nice push. So we know we have a bearish structure here. We know we have this daily EMA. So in order to break that daily EMA and also break that bearish structure, I full TP on that 1:1. Perfect. And we'll see if, let me see if my 1:2 is going to hit TP as well. I'm almost there. There we go. Yep. So markets are moving how we we were used to in the spring. And I think I got a good entry on this because my entry, my TP is below this candle right here. But anyway, so for today, for the month of September, so we are starting off with a 1.5% gain. So let's see. So the last day here for August was that. So today is the first trading week. I'm sorry, trading day of September. 1.5% gain for the day. And I think this is the first time of the month that, oh, never mind, because I'm used to, like sometimes I start the month off with a loss. And there you go, full TP on that. So let me take a screen grab of this. And I think we just also retested an EMA here. And looks like this sell position might survive. So this EMA, I wouldn't take a buy here because A, we don't have a bullish zone. Also, we have a hourly bearish order block. So I wouldn't take any buys around here. So let's see if price is going to come back here. Anyway, let me take. All right, so NAS looks like the second position for NAS today would have lost if you're taking any NAS signals, and that's fine. NAS has had some very, very good setups in the past, so this is just one of those days that NAS is or NAS would have lost with those setups. So let's see. This entry was at 45,335 here. And it was this one, so 45. So today's a pretty good day. Because we've had two back-to-back wins for the official trades and two back-to-back wins for the market open entry for US30. So today is a pretty nice day. So this is EMA rejection scalp. Take a screen grab of this. And it's only 10 a.m. So I don't know. We'll see if we'll get another entry. But so far, so good. And let's see what we have. Uh, all right. See. See if we can upload the stats for today. Give me a second here. see. All right. So for let's see here, and this trade is coming back into profit. So for today, for the structure, I'm sorry, for the threshold trade today, the first one was what? I think it was an SAR rejection scalp based off of the 30-minute time frame, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Yep, based off of no, based off of the 30-minute SAR. And this other one was the daily EMA. So EMA rejection scalp based off of the daily EMA one. I think it was the EMA one. Yeah. So for this one, the threshold, so you can see I think I've only taken, let's see. Yeah, I've only taken one trade this week. So you can see the last week. So the last week in September, I had a losing streak, even with this account. So I had six, so right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, three back-to-back losses. And also on Friday. The previous week, about 3,600. The previous 2 weeks, about 9,000 between the two. So August for me was a crazy, crazy month. And the price action wasn't the best because most of these losses, it used to be price just hits my stop loss and then goes back in the direction that I was expecting. But August was a tricky month, so hopefully September is better. I mean, definitely even for the day to day, because that's only on one account. And then of course I have all these other accounts for the market open. So we can upload these ones as well, but I want to make sure we don't have any other trades here that we might be missing. So let's see. So EMA wise, we had already tested all these EMAs, so there's nothing left to test for EMAs. For SAR, we've tested all these SARs, and you can see that rejection is coming from that bearish structure here. If you go on the 1 hour time frame, that's where it's easier to look at. This bearish structure, that was the intersection of this, and typically it was the high of this candle. But it's better visible on MT4, but it was somewhere here, somewhere there. So that's that bearish structure right there, and also the 4 hour SAR that we saw up here. So that's why all those sellers stepped into the market there. But for EMAs, unless if we close with this 15-minute candle, we close below this 15-minute EMA, then it would be a sell. If actually it wouldn't, because we don't even have a bearish zone. We don't have a red zone here for the 15-minute time frame. So I would have to check. So on the 15-minute time frame, no, we wouldn't have anything because the nearest supply zone is all the way up there. And yeah, so we don't have anything just as of yet. And this is again how this SAR and EMA rejection scalp should be. We typically, right, even in the spring, we're typically catching the lows and catching the highs. So this is typically how the SAR should be. What was happening for me in August is, for example, I know that price is going to, or I get an indication that price is going to sell, and then I enter, say, somewhere here. Price goes past my stop loss, and then later on, it now comes back in the direction that I was expecting. But now this is how the SAR and EMA rejection scalp should typically be. I'm surprised we haven't got another entry for US30 for this market open entries. See. All right, so we've closed below the 15-minute EMA. However, you can see we don't have any supply zone here, so I wouldn't take any sell if price comes back to that 15-minute EMA. see. Nothing yet here. Let's see. What I'll do in the meantime is update. Right. Let me just upload this documents real quick. Give me a second. I need to sign in here. Um, let's see. Get open. So, let's upload this one. All right. So we can go, and I think I'm signed out of everything. Yeah. So we can go over those trades from today. So, like as I mentioned, I have four accounts, so three accounts. So I've only done three accounts right now because the three accounts are done trading. The fourth account is the one that's now taking every single signal between 9:30 a.m. and or 9:29 a.m. and 10:59. So you can see here for today, the first account is the one that made, so this is the 9:30 a.m. only. So if I go and tag this, this is the 9:30 a.m. only account. So if a signal does not come at 9:30 a.m., I close this account. Or actually not close, I have it timed to only look for a signal or to receive a signal between 9:29 a.m. and 9:31 a.m. So if it doesn't receive anything between those 2 minutes, so it's only 2 minutes threshold for it to receive. If it doesn't receive any signal, then that is it. And again, I'm entering on the 15-second time frame. So you can see that one was a 4K, $4,000 win because again, I'm only risking 1% per trade. It's one trade a day. And statistically, like when we did even the back test for January, and I did the back test of between January and August or last week of August or mid-August, the return was about 94%. Um, yeah, so the return actually the return let me clarify that. It was a net return of 94%, correct? Yeah. Yeah, so it was a net return of 94%. So this second account is still market open signal, but this second account, it's taking any trade. So whether it's at 9:30 a.m. or whether the first trade comes at 9:30 a.m., whether it comes at 9:45, whether it comes at 10:59, this account is only taking the first trade that happens. So typically, I'll get similar trades between accounts one and two or between two and three. All right, so for today, the first signal came at 9:30 a.m. and it was again on the 15-second time frame. Then the third account is the one that took this signal. The third account took this signal right here. This one right here. So the third account, it's not interested in the 9:30 a.m. signal. Yes, it's looking for the first trade, but only the first trade after 9:30 a.m. So any trade that comes in at 9:31 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. Eastern time. So that's this entry that it took here, and we saw this on the live session here. So that's the trade that took. So it's post 9:30 a.m. And of course, there's the account that's taking all the signals. So I'm not going to upload that just as of yet until it gets to like 10:59 so that I can do all of them at once. But you can see this week, Wednesday, yesterday had four winning trades. So two of them, yesterday there were two trades. So this US30 U25 is just one of the new FTMO accounts. So that one had wins yesterday, and the two, I forget what they were based off of. I mean, we can look at them. So the two, yesterday there wasn't a 9:30 a.m. signal. I don't think. Was there? Maybe. Yeah, so yesterday there wasn't a 9:30 a.m. signal for US30. So yesterday the first trade came after 9:30 a.m. So on some days, the 9:30, since we don't have, like yesterday, since we didn't have a 9:30 a.m. signal, I had already closed that account. So you can see between those 2 days, between four accounts, that's 22K. Now, again, it's not always going to be that way. If we look at now, if I go back to last month, you see the last week was a losing week. Because if we look at Monday of last week, and let's make sure we're not missing anything here. If we look at Monday of last week on the market open ones, you'll see that uh last week only there wasn't a 9:30 a.m. signal on Monday. So, and the first signal on Monday, which wasn't at 9:30, it lost. The next day, I think it's the same thing because if you see any day that has two trades only, that means most likely means that there wasn't any 9:30 a.m. Signal. So it looks like Monday, Tuesday, there wasn't a 9:30 a.m. signal. So whatever signal came after 9:30 a.m. was a losing signal. And again, I'm only risking 1% per trade. And those are two separate accounts. It's just that I've combined them into one journal. On Wednesday, there was a couple of wins and a couple of losses as well. And Thursday was a losing day. Friday was a losing day as well. So you can see between last week had a like a $16,000 losing week. But you have to consider it's between four accounts. So on the 9:30 a.m. only account, maybe I lost 4K. So this is the 16K is across four accounts. Same thing here. This 22K that's right here is across four accounts. So this is not one account. It's only, it's four different accounts. So you can see the win rate is climbing right here. So we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But so the key thing here is that I'm going for a 1:2 risk to reward. I'm only looking to take one trade a day. I don't have statistics yet, which is why I'm journaling this, but I don't have statistics for I don't have statistics yet for taking every trade between 9:30 a.m. to between 9:29 a.m. to 10:59 a.m., which is why I'm journaling them. So if like in a month or 2 months I see that the statistics for that are not good, then I'm going to quit trading that account that's taking every signal between 9:29 a.m. to 10:59 a.m. But currently, so far so good. And we'll see. But I do have statistics for the 9:30 a.m. only for the first trade after market open, whether it's 9:30 or not. And here we go. We're about to form another sell signal on US30. So we'll see. We can track this and see how this one is going. Let's see. So we can, but we again here, since we're coming back to test this resistance up here, I'm not sure if this will survive, but we'll see. Um, and I think, yeah, this one is already being taken. All right, so that one would have lost for this particular one. So today for US30, two wins, one losses, two wins, one loss for all the signals. But you can see now to differentiate all these accounts, this signal was only taken by account four. So it wasn't taken by account one, it wasn't taken by account two and it wasn't taken by account three. Because account one, two, and three, it's only one trade a day. So the one trade a day was was between these two trades right here, between accounts one, two, and three. The only account that's taking all the signals between 9:29 and 10:59 a.m. is the only one that took this loss right here. So for that one account, um, it's a 200K account risking 500 or 0.25% per trade. Yes, yeah. So for that account, I just lost about 500. But for the two previous trades, I won a thousand each. So yeah, so maybe eventually, depending on the statistics for this particular one, and here, I mean, we can do so far the statistics for this. If we look at 9:30 a.m. only, so far it's been about 6K. Uh, two wins, one loss. If we look at the first trade, whether it's a 9:30 a.m. or not, three wins, four losses, 3,400. And if we go back here and look at the post 9:30, so far two wins, five losses. So that post 9:30 account, so any signal after 9:30, it looks like it might need a little bit of refining, but we'll see. We'll keep collecting those statistics. And last but not least, we look at all trades, whether they're 9:30, no, between 9:29 and 10:59. So three wins, seven losses. So not including today. So for today, it would come to five wins, eight losses. So I think this would be at break even. So this would come back to break even because for the day today I've made about 12.59. So it would come back to about break even. And then the intraday market open entry would have ended up as a losing trade. Would have ended up as a losing trade for today. Yesterday it was a win. The day before it was a loss. The day before was a win. So still positive for the regular market open, for the intraday market open entries. And here we will try to see if we can get a SAR rejection scalp, because we probably won't get an EMA rejection scalp. We'll see if we'll get a SAR one. Hmm. All right, so still nothing here. So here the best case scenario is to get an SAR rejection. Let's see. So here, even if we get an SAR, right? Let's assume we get an SAR. Yeah. So I think this will be the end of the live session because A, we don't have a supply zone between here. And even if we get an SAR, even if we had an SAR form here, we have a bullish order block. So I wouldn't even take any sells here. So in any case, price has to shoot all the way up about 100 points in the next 15 minutes. So it is doable, but I wouldn't, and makes sense. Tomorrow's NFP, so price is trending and all. But yeah, given the price action we have here, and given that for any sells, price has to shoot all the way to this zone, and for any buys, we have to come in. For any buys, price has to retrace back to the EMAs. But even then, you can see, yes, we haven't retested this 15-minute EMA, and as much as we're in a demand zone for this 15-minute EMA, you can see we also have an hourly bearish order block here. So this might be a tricky area to even trade because we don't want to take buys where, and you can see zones are changing already. So we don't want to take buys where we have a bearish order block. But other than that, I think this is it for the day. Today was a very amazing day for trading. Unfortunately, we won't have a live session tomorrow, but we will get back to it next week. But other than that, I will see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your week. All right, guys. Peace.